Hey, what's up? This is Jay, and this is the prequel episode to the show that I'm calling Raising a Gamer. And I have done various videos throughout my life, and I'm actually in taking a master's at Academy of Art for multimedia communications. And this is kind of my way of trying to ask the community for how I'm going to raise my kid. Now, let me give you the situation here. My wife is pregnant, and she is about to give birth to a baby daughter, our first actually, and I am wanting to raise her like a gamer. And I'm going to use this channel as a way to try and ask the community how they would raise a gamer, child. And I have, myself, I have a lot of gamer history, as I would say, right? I've been playing games pretty much most of my life. I am actually I'm 42 years old, and I have been gaming pretty much since like the 80s. When I was a kid in junior high, I used to sell these gridded pieces of paper, and I would create these dungeons, right? And I would sell them to my classmates for $1, and then for some reason, I actually got like $2 or $3 out of it. So I guess from back then, you can say that I was a professional. But it didn't stop there. Actually, when I played games until I was about 28, until I decided to go to college for gaming. I had previously done stuff in art, and so I wanted to do stuff in art mixed with digital, so I decided to go gamer, like a gaming major, game art design major. And so when I graduated, I ended up working for a bunch of great companies. I worked for Blizzard, I worked for Image Metrics, which worked on things like Grand Theft Auto 4, and I worked on SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. I worked on some Korean games. I worked on a game called I did localization for a game called uh, Trickster Online, and another one called Grand Chase. So I did like localization, game balances, community management, all that kind of stuff. Then I decided to teach. I currently teach game theory and game art design, and I teach game production team. So it's not like I actually do a lot of things kind of in the game industry, I kind of outside. Um, I've also created my own card game. I created a card game called Conquest at Kismet, which just released 2015 in September of 2015, and not bad. But I really tried to create a game that I could teach my students to say that I could do it, and I did. I actually went through the whole process of going through publisher and getting a deal and signing contracts and going through all the process of like working with the publisher and now that's what I do. I do a lot of other projects, but let's just be honest here. None of that matters at all. The fact that I'm telling you all my history about who I am and what I've done is really just letting you know that I'm a gamer and I'm a hardcore person, that I've like done it all my life. But doing this whole thing with a new daughter is scary for me. Let's be honest. This is territory I have not, gone in, and all my experiences as a gamer, I don't think is going to matter, which is where you come in. You guys are going to help me, and I'm hopefully going to be able to help. We can do this discussion on how I can raise my child as a gamer. Now, you think, okay, well, my child is going to be born. It's going to be episode 1, which is week 1, and at this moment, my wife is still pregnant. So, and in fact, right now we're at week 37, which means that the baby is quote unquote full term. Which means at any moment I could get the call. I could get the call like right now, and I could just go. But I wanted to make this prequel episode just to kind of introduce you to who I am and what I do. Because really, when I start doing the show, it's not going to be about me. It's going to be about my child, and it's going to be about raising my child. So another question you maybe ask is like, how can you raise a child when the child is not really, or how can you have a show when the child is just a baby? Well, here's how I see it. I want to prepare for when my child gets cognitive enough to listen to me and talk to me, and babies kind of get that really early. And so what I'm going to do on my show is what I'm going to do is I'm going to have several kind of segments. The first one's going to be a tired segment, and I think that's going to be a little bit kitschy and fun or whatever, because like right now I am fully rested, which means that this is not going to be consistent. In fact, when I do shows, I might be dead tired. And that's the fun of it, I guess. So, what I'm going to talk about in my show is I'm going to say a question. I want to ask a question about something. And then I'm going to give my experiences behind it. And then leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, in the YouTube comments below or whatever, and we'll make this discussion. I think there are some pretty hotbed topics right now pertaining to raising kids and gamers in particular, and girl gamers, in fact, which is kind of interesting because there's a lot of different strong opinions about who, how a gamer girl fits in society today. And so I'll ask really fun questions too. I mean, I want to make it fun. I'll ask questions. Let's say, for example, I'll ask questions like, when should I introduce my daughter to electronics? That's a very good question nowadays because I didn't grow up with electronics. I didn't grow up with a tablet in my hand or a cell phone. I didn't get that stuff until I was like 20. Or anything like, well, if would it be card games or board games or electronic games to start off my kid? There's a lot of different questions that you can ask. In fact, I made a whole list of them just to know that I can have some topics while my kid is a baby. So if you're interested, please subscribe to me, and I would love to talk to you personally or whatever as the show evolves. And I may make this a live show. Hopefully, preferably, I'd like to make this a week-to-week show, which means I will show, hey, a week, whatever, of my baby's growth, and every once in a while I may show my baby to you, hey, look, this is how the baby looks at 3 weeks old or 4 weeks old. I probably may not. I don't know. Most of the time it's just going to be me talking about my kid and what's going on with her. Maybe I'll talk about adventures that I've done, poopy diapers or anything like that, or you never know. I think this is going to be a very exciting show, and hopefully we can get to the point where we will have enough episodes and my child will be grown enough to talk on the show, and that way you'll be able to hear her in person and you'll be able to see how my influences and art discussions have influenced her growth, which is kind of cool. You guys can like grow with me and my children. So again, this is the prequel episode. I hope that you can subscribe to me. Please watch me. I think I have a good hook for a show. And so anyway, my name is Jay, and I hope that you can follow me. Please follow me. I'm going to start building this whole show thing, and the ideal is by next year I'll have 52 episodes, just like the weeks of the year, and that will help with seeing where my child is at. It'd be really cool. Anyway, I hope to see you all later, and I hope to see you in our discussions. All right, peace out.